Greetings, this is Spec Ops 56 and my good friend, cameraman, and fellow wine reviewer, John Toe. And this is going to be our wine review number 4. This is another wine from Trader Joe's. And before I try to pronounce it, I want to apologize to any of you Italians out there that are watching this, because this is an Italian wine and I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of it, but I'll do the best I can. I think it is Amarone Ca Storica. Alright, you look at the label, you figure it out for yourself. Now, let me read you a little about it. Like all authentic Amarone, this one comes from Valpolicella, just outside Verona. Regional grapes of the Corvina, Rondinella, and Corvinone varieties are harvested in early October, then air dried for 120 days until they are rather raisiny. The dried grapes are then crushed and fermented slowly. Finally, the juice is aged in oak barrels for 2 years. At that time, and all that time and effort yields ruby red wine that's full-bodied and boldly flavored with notes of ripe cherry, raspberry, cocoa, and dried fruit. Like most labor-intensive products, Amarone often comes at a steep price. It's not uncommon to find a bottle like this one for $40 or higher. However, our negotiations yielded a stellar cost, and we're able to offer each 750 milliliter bottle of Amarone Ca Storica for $14.99, which isn't bad. So that's a truly great price for a truly great wine. It's 14% ABV. And the bottle, it tells you on the bottle that you should, after opening it up, you should let it breathe for 30 minutes before tasting. Because of that, we're going to open it up off camera and give it that 30 minutes to breathe before we actually pour it and taste it. So once that has been accomplished, we will come right back.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, the wine has been breathing for 30 minutes. And before I pour it, I wanted to point something out, that little problem we ran into when we were pulling the cork. John will focus on this. The top of the cork in this thing was dried out and brittle, so that whenever we tried to screw the cork lifter into it, all it did was it just broke up and crumbled away. So we had a problem doing that. But finally, when we got down to the part closer to the wine, where it was apparently a little bit less dry, then it got a good bite and we were able to pull it out. But you can see the pieces. I just wanted to let you know that. I don't know if that's going to be the case for all of them or if just the one we got, but something you need to be aware of. Okay, now that's out of the way. Let me pour some of this. And some for John.
Ooh, that is pretty.
All right. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a dark purplish ruby red.
Got it.
Okay, all right, John, come on around.
Okay.
It smells like it's going to be a dry wine.
Okay. Let's see.
has that kind of a smell to it.
Yes, it does.
I can smell the dark cherry. I can also smell a little bit of the alcohol. Maybe that's just because of the dryness.
Maybe.
Assuming it is dry. I haven't tasted it yet. But I know what a dry wine smells like.
Mm-hmm. It is dry, but it's not extremely so. It's a little on the lighter side.
Yeah, it's a lighter body for a red wine.
Mm-hmm.
I can taste the cherry, the dark cherry.
Right.
I'm not sure what else yet. I do taste the oak, now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You know, I kind of taste the oak essence coming back up off the top of my tongue.
As a dry wine, it's not bad. With some cheese and crackers, it'd really be good. And that's what you usually do, or a meal.
Yeah, it's not overly dry. There's a very, very light bit of sweetness
Mm-hmm.
that I can taste. It's and I do taste just the slightest bit of alcohol burn. Not so much burn, but I can taste the alcohol.
Yeah. That's about all I got to say about it. Nice ruby red color.
Yeah, I'm not tasting
What else?
any of these other colors. Yeah, any of these other flavors that it talked about. All I'm really getting, like I say, is the dark cherry flavor, the dryness, the oak, and just a tiny touch of sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I get. What do you think?
If you like a light-bodied wine, it's not overly dry, this is a good one.
Yeah, it is surprisingly light for a red wine.
Yeah, I'm not usually into dry wines, but this one's pretty doggone good.
Yeah, I'm like you. I prefer a sweeter wine to a drier wine. But this one is a fairly decent balance.
Mm-hmm.
It has almost, I was going to say almost the same amount of sweetness as the dryness, but not really.
Yeah.
But it's not overly one way or the other.
Right, it's well balanced.
Exactly. It's not too bad for this type of a wine.
Mm-hmm.
It does taste a bit raisiny. Now that I really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, I can definitely give this one a thumb up.
I'll do the same thing.
You know, if you like red wines, dry red wines. I like red wines, but I like sweeter red wines.
Right.
If you like dry red wines, you like a lighter bodied wine, you'll like this. This is not a heavy bodied wine like, say, a Cabernet Sauvignon,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not as dry. But it's very similar in taste profile.
Right. It's good.
Only lighter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could recommend this. This would be a good dinner wine, a good after dinner wine to have with your cheese and other snacks, like John was saying. So give this one a try. You might like it. So this is Spec Ops 56 and John behind the camera saying, see you at the next wine review.